And so the reason I mention that is when you picture yourself on a big budget production, there's hundreds of people. Multiply that times the hourly rate, and you show up and you're at that moment. It's a lot of pressure on you as an actor. If you don't know what you're doing and you can't deliver, as a director, I'm going to give you some room. We're going to make you feel good. We're even going to lie to you and say that was great, because we do not want to yell at you and say you're screwing up, because we know you're going to shut down. But the reality, what's going through the back of our heads is, how did you even get here? Why are you in front of me right now?
And I think we see a little crossroads with that right there, because kids today, or oh God, I'm sounding like my mother, but they're like,
you know what's wrong with the kids today?
Okay, they don't understand that it's a business, and a director doesn't necessarily have to do what Victor just said. Okay, you have to know it. You have to come into work prepared.
Right. And the thing is, once you're on set, the director probably will do that because you're already there, and they have to make the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is another thing.
I'm losing the light. They're losing the sun. They're losing this. They don't have time for that.
And I'm constantly telling my people this is once you book a gig and you're on set, your goal is to book the next gig, and you want to make everyone on set want to work with you again. I get the vast majority of my work now is from word of mouth.
Absolutely. I know directors you've worked with, and they love you.
Do not rely on your agent to be constantly hooking you up with new people, like people you've worked with before. If they want to work with you again, you'll start getting phone calls just offering you roles.
Yes.
And that's the best position to be in. But you need to conduct yourself on set in a way that's going to foster that.
Yep. And I think that actually that can almost put a bow on this whole thing, because if you think about what you just said and how we talked about audition, when you're doing your self-tape and then you're in character versus not character, I want to know who you are when you do your slate. Remember? Yeah. I don't want to see
what's he going to be like on
because
set?
if I see you're a psycho or whatever, or a problem person in your slate, if you're coming across like that, that's going to really weigh on our selection for the next project.
If you're an unprofessional, nervous Nelly, if you're an unprofessional, nervous Nelly in your slate, you're going to be an unprofessional, nervous Nelly on set.
Yes.
Which means more takes and more takes, which means you're wasting time. And
high
time
maintenance
is money.
And I know actors who are super good. I know actors that are extremely talented, but they can't get hired now because every director that works with them, they're so hard to handle that
you don't want to work with it.
They're willing to take someone who's not as good, but will still do justice to the part and is a breeze to work with.
And you get and it's so true. And I'll close out one last thought, because you and I, it brought me back to a movie, and I can't believe I'm blanking Paul's name, who came into my old studio. We were doing a casting for a movie.
Paul Tay?
And no. And he came in a character, and you and I looked at each other like, why? He was auditioning for us.
Yes,
and
that movie that shall have no name.
That name, yes, that's Alan Smitty project.
Yes.
And he blew our doors off, Chris. And
the British actor.
Classically trained, and
really
we didn't
good.
know it, and Jamaican, and came from like
we had no idea.
We had no idea, and he came in just like and because he had that moment of, hey, how you guys doing? And he goes, give me just a minute, and boom, next thing you know, he was right in person, and Todd and I looked at it and said, done, you got the part. It was
not even
So, those are the moments that we can't capture now, because that's, like we said, it's all gone online. So I want to know as much about you as, when you get that, the thing I see, and you guys are going to laugh, I'm staring into the camera here on this one because I'm talking to everybody at home. When you get the famous thing, and I always laugh, tell me about yourself. And everybody goes,
oh, yes.
I heard some laughs back there.
Back
there. Everybody went out, right?
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right.
Right. It's not.
1 second.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you triggered me, boy. You triggered me.
Something went off in his eyes.
I saw that. Wow, we got
tequila before.
Uh-oh.
Now, with all these kids I have, they ask for 30 seconds of a personality chat. Okay? Just talk about yourself. And my God, they pooped their pants right there. They don't know anything about themselves. Anything.
Like anything. It's asking about somebody else.
Yes. I'm like, okay, what's your favorite food? I don't know. Okay, do you like going to Disney? I guess so.
Yeah.
Look, just I'm gonna hit record. Just talk about yourself for 30 seconds, please. Like, just be yourself.
They shit their pants.
And
Absolutely.
they're there, 10 seconds of silence going, what do I say now?
Mm-hmm.
It's you! Say you! Talk about you! These kids don't even, they barely know their address, by the way.
Super triggered. Anyway, wow.
Just another tip of my tequila.
Yeah, no. They definitely have an interesting story to tell about yourself that will add, even if you.
Go for it.
No.
Am I allowed to link it below?
Oh God.
I'm allowed to link it below. Say yes.
Of course.
See?
Yeah, whatever.
I heard yes, of course,
Oui,
whatever.
oui.
Wait till you see the link below.
Look, I've been embarrassed and humiliated so many times it doesn't even have an effect now. But even if you don't have something, just be relaxed enough. And this is something else we should talk about in some future episode is relaxation and how important that is.
Yes.
Because new ideas can come to your head and come out, express themselves only if you're relaxed. Tension is going to cut that off.
Kills it.
So one
Kills
thing
creativity.
I do in the castings, if they're really like this, I say, hey, from 1 to 10, 10 being super nervous, what number are you? If they go 8 or 9, I don't even bother with them because they're not giving me their true self.
You just say, get out, go home.
I say, please go outside.
That's what I do.
I wish I could say that. I wish I
might
could
say.
say that. I say that in my head, but I say, go outside. I'll get you next if need be. But come to me when you're at a 3, a 2, maybe a 1 or 0, because then we can see you. You're wasting your time, and you're wasting my time if you're like this the whole time. And that's not you. That's not you.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
you. So yes, very important about realization.
And there's some simple techniques too. Some simple
Yeah.
stuff like box breathing.
Are they legal?
Super. Some of them are.
Okay.
In this country,
But only in Thailand.
Wait, where are we
Well,
talking
that's
about?
what I was going to say.
Some of them are. I think they're illegal in Saudi Arabia.
Chris leaned it over. Okay.
Only in Thailand.
In Thailand, they're totally
Should we
legal.
wrap this up? I
blame
think
the
we went way
tequila.
too long. Because we have a lot. I think we just touched on some stuff.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get through a lot of the questions, so we'll
know.
have part 2 of the.
But because they have to watch the next one.
Yeah, I think we have a few here. So, well, with that, I'm going to say, gentlemen, I want to thank you for the very first. Obviously, this is going to get cut, so it could be the 3rd, could be the 6th.
Could be the-
Who knows which one it's going to be? But thank you guys so much for being my friends
Always a pleasure.
and coming here. And I'm hoping that we actually did something for a lot of those actors out there that are talented and need some direction because our phones ring a lot, and we if we can pass the torch along a little bit, I feel great about it.
And I want to publicly thank Victor for putting all of this
Yes.
together. This is amazing.
This
I
is
mean,
superb. I mean, what a setup!
Incredible
And you still have
for this
me in the
setup.
I'm selling this one
Okay.
hard because that was soon the movie's getting released. I'm actually flying out to the AFM in LA to see about talking to some networks. I've already had a few for Corona Camp, but and Jade's art, my daughter.
Yes.
These are not
Amazing.
to be seen.
Amazing.
Yeah, so there's a whole series coming around that, and
Amazing.
you'll see her on the channel and lots more. And
And hit us up for like real world acting advice. Like,
yeah, that's exactly that's what made us do this, because so many of the parents, and you guys get the phone calls and we see it. It's like, I saw this on YouTube. I saw this. I read this. And, they're great resources. Backstage is great. There's a lot, but a lot of this, and I'm not saying backstage, there's many of them out there that are great, but this is super organic. That's what I want to do. It was, a lot of them are very structured.
And so many people are just regurgitating old stuff.
Yes.
Strasberg, Stella Adler, blah, blah, blah. I mean,
You mean the book that we're writing?
Uda.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uda.
what we're trying, Uda Hagen, yeah.
Uda.
Well, this is like real world stuff. Like Uda Hagen didn't have no concept of
a
self-tape.
self-tape.
Yeah.
Right. Please. And that was, if you think about it, and that's the funny part. And a lot of those books, if you go back, everybody talks about method. That was prior to TV. I mean, that was at the time of you had Charlie Chaplin, maybe at best, even before that, because that was the
30s and 40s.
That came from the Russian theater company. Not even right. So we're now.
we could go into
hold on a
Strasberg.
minute. We could spend.
We could do a whole episode on
we
Strasberg.
will. We're going to do a whole.